Hello and welcome to the Aftershow for issue 5 of The Powers That Be. This one was called Recruiters Wanted. Uh, we've got a few nice little story hooks here. We're going to see where they go, but we're going to start, as we usually do, with our stars and wishes. And I think I'm going to go a little bit out of order this time, and this time we're going to shine the spotlight right on the GM. Patrick,
Right.
stars and wishes, please.
So stars wise, this time I loosened up the track of the plot a little bit to give you guys some more of a run of what's going around. Um, Largely because we're at a point in the story now where I've covered through the basics and stuff, and we're moving along with any of the numerous plot points that are going on. And so I was very happy that the game didn't like Peter out stall or anything like that, as I've occasionally seen where people come up with really dumb things for their characters to do. Instead, you came up with like, oh, well, let's go follow what these things on the map say. Okay, sure. That wasn't what I had originally planned, but you know what? Let's run with this. And indeed we did. You guys did an excellent job of that. So I'm very happy. And still managed to get a good cliffhanger at the end. So that was excellent. For wishes, let's see. Well, actually, going back with the stars though, I also did very much like the teamwork that folks were exhibiting with things like, okay, well, I'm going to make a device to hear these, and then we're going to use the crow to drop to bring it over to where within range of where they're talking, and then we could just hear what the hell they're talking about. So that sort of stuff I'm enjoying greatly because, well, teamwork, makes the dream work, and well, that's what comics are about. Either it's the team working together or the team not working well together, and so that's a good thing to work with. For wishes, the big thing is just keep track of what stuff you're working on in your character. And as we progress further and work into combat, which we didn't have much of this time, is which this kind of goes with the star that Pa had a very good idea of what she wanted to do through the course of combat. That as familiarize yourself just with how your character fights and how you can fight together as a group. This is something we want to work on, and we don't want the combats to take the entire session and whatnot. So I'm working on ways to speed that up, and hopefully we'll be able to get all of that to work well. So, but overall, very happy with this week's session. I had a good time.
Excellent. Let's go over to ECAT. Your stars and wishes, please.
I just think overall we were all stars because it was a great like Patrick said, great teamwork going on. So we really didn't have, in my opinion, one that really shined, but we all worked well together. As for wishes, I don't really have anything right now. I'm just interested to see where we go with Dean being hung by his scruff.
All right.
The Gen Z in Nevada is finding the boomer hanging very.
Hey.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of which, Ray,
Hi.
let's hear from you.
Stars. That was a great scenario that Patrick planned out. That was very well illustrated, described. Could not tell if things went off book within the first 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes into the session, just because there was the rendering time was nil. There was a scene, there was a scenario, there was a focus. And so we were immediately able to just go in, whether it was with the nameless suits or the tech that we acquired, the park, just that was really well done. It's like, you had this whole, all contingencies planned for. That's impressive. That is very impressive. And you made it seem like that's how it was meant to go. Of course. Absolutely. Yes. I planned it that way. Wishes. I think that yeah, the star. Okay, so another star, kind of piggybacking to all of us because we are looking for ways to work as a team. I like that we are buying in, and it is that gradual progression of discovering the character and then discovering how that character fits in with the team. Um, and that's going to take, I think that's going to take a few more episodes to really start to solidify. And as different episodes can focus on different character development. So I think we have a ways to go. And probably tier two and a half before we really start to gel. But I like what we're all bringing, and I think the wish is just a wanting to make sure that we're all supporting each other as we're kind of that. Well, what would we do? Like, what would I do? Like, I felt like I should have stepped in as speaker a couple of times there and just really didn't know, and especially with the fascists, right? Because now, and this is where I'm thinking, okay, this is game, this is plot, but there's also then the other side is comic book, right? So that made it okay for how Pa responded. But and I'm thinking too much real. It's like, well, that's of course what they would expect to happen. And then they take that off to their little alcove and it's like, look what they done, look at the violence and blah 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 blah. Or you join in and you help clobber the fuck out of them. Nice move, by the way, Trevor pantsing. That was great.
See, I don't always choose the violent option.
So although I will say this one thing, whenever we're like, especially because that was a GM intrusion, I love it for the comedy value, but for things like that, I think that being mindful of why the intrusion is happening, it's like usually so that the character can there can be some character development there. And just be aware if you're going to do something for the Joker to help it out. Like it might be stealing a little bit of thunder. It might be taking some of the agency away from that character in that situation because now something else has happened. But again, I mean, you still got to punch and throw and nearly so it's not like but really I think that's it. I like another star for Patrick just because it is splitting up between storytelling and character development. And okay, let's do some rock'em sock'em and have a combat episode. And it's nice. It's nice to do both. It's nice to not just be only one or the other.
Hey, let's shoot over to Magda.
I'm having a lot of yeah, what everybody else said. Like I'm just nodding a lot. I completely agree with Patrick setting up really good scenarios that we were all able to just hit the ground running and find something to do and collaborate while also like it like it just was all very organic today, so that was really nice. And as far as wishes, I keep thinking of like all of these little gadgets that I want to create. When you were talking about the poppy pins, it's like I have a feeling those are going to come up a lot. So now I want to make like some electromagnet that will like heat up the pins and like scorch people. So like I yeah, I just want to create all of these gadgets, and I want to um hack this program and try to get as much information out of it as possible, and track um the earbuds from all of the agents, and try to see what information I can scrape from them. Like I'm just like, I want to do everything. I want to know everything.
I would recommend for that, make sure that you write things down. There's a notes section on your character in Roll20, or just on like, a notepad thing or a piece of paper, of just, ideas that you have for all of this. So you can, especially when like between this session and the next one, there won't be downtime because Generator is kind of hanging by the scruff of his neck. So we have to resolve that. But your characters will have time in between sessions most of the time, or even during sessions. We can do things like, okay, well, this ended, so a few days later, and then you can have things you've already planned out to do during that for exactly that sort of stuff. So like if you want to work on like, well, let's see if I can figure out a way to track the agents. Okay, well, you spend some time on that. I'll come up with a difficulty. We'll see how long it's going to take you to do. So that is eminently possible.
Yeah.
And of course, so since you do gadgetry, you can have like, you can build all sorts of stuff. That's what you're supposed to be doing. So, that it takes time is the one downside, but that's, the exchange for the flexibility that you have as somebody who can make lots of different things.
Yeah, and there are honestly relatively simple rules for creating ciphers. So rather than relying on, the random things that we might get from Patrick, which I mean is good in its own way, because that makes us think more creatively about how to solve these problems, because these are the tools we have at our disposal this week. But you have the opportunity that you can create your own, and you can have exactly what you want going into any given situation. Julie, let's go for you.
So yeah, I really love the everybody working together with the Crow GoPros and all of that, and that was just, I could just totally visualize Crow sitting there, like, okay, fine, okay, I'll go do the thing, and just seeing people just kind of starting to kind of get a better sense of what their character can do, and they're kind of coming out, as a part of like their personalities and stuff, and I feel like I definitely, definitely owes everybody, yes, even including the underage one, a good couple of beers for dragging them, into the Addams family compound. But there was no way that you guys were getting in there to, so we can try to figure out what's going on with the whatever people with the numbers without, and I wasn't going to go and try to do that by myself. So,
Well, see, I figure I already know at least some of your family, because the bookshop's not that far from the compound, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And wishes?
I am not coming up with anything off the top of my head. I think just everyone just keep on, just try to finding your groove, Patrick with the story, letting us kind of, run with it, is nice. So yeah.
Okay. So for me, I kind of want to dovetail to other things that people have said. Like everyone said, we did a lot of good teamwork this week, and it was nice to see us starting to gel. But I like the fact that we also offset that with everyone having their own little moments in the spotlight. It was a very good balance of individual moments and team moments. the other thing, like to tangent off of the comment to Patrick, which make no mistake, I echo wholeheartedly that you gave us options, and then whatever we came up with, you ran with it seamlessly, and that's awesome. That's a fantastic thing for a GM. But I also want to point out that for the players, we didn't get caught up in AP. Which for those of you that aren't familiar with the term is analysis paralysis, because we had a bunch of options that we could have done, and we didn't spend 20 minutes, debating over, well, why should we do this? Why should we do that? We picked something and we went. And that's that is also relatively comic booky in that, they don't spend a whole lot of time planning. They just kind of, pick a direction and go. So it was nice to see us do that, partially for the pacing of the episode. I'll be perfectly honest with you. As far as an individual star, I'm actually going to give it to Julie this week. I think Paul had some really, really good moments. The way that you faced off against the assholes in the park was awesome, and the leading us into the compound, and kind of even if there were some of the details that we still have to iron out, you did a pretty good job. You did a relatively good job of like narrating what life was like, so that it wasn't just we see the training center. We got those little glimpses into Pa's history that kind of it made it feel personal. As far as wishes, I want to see more of these little bits of people's backstories kind of come together and connect. And I have every confidence, Patrick, that you have that planned like down to 8 episodes from now. When of course our job is to fuck it up at the first opportunity for you. But no, this is, this group of characters, we have that stereotypical, the group of misfit characters that would never come together as the family, and of course that's where we're heading towards. It's a matter of how we get there.
Definite Breakfast Club vibe going on.
But I absolutely want to see how everyone's backstories tie into that. So that's it for me. What I'd love to hear is just shout out wacky ideas, and if nothing else, maybe we'll give Patrick some plot threads or some plot ideas. Who has Gen X right now? Who is it?
It's probably somebody from
the good old days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That he maybe threw in jail or something of that nature, is out and is now pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we knew it was some supervillain because of the app that just showed up behind him.
Yeah.
But somebody that can jump down several stories without being damaged.
Yeah.
And fly up.
Yeah.
And narrow it down in the Atom family.
I'm wondering if it's somebody from the old team.
Oh, just kind of playing a joke on you.
Or is Matt?
I don't know,
left?
Patrick. Should I elaborate, or should I let you set up the backstory backlog that I sent to you early?
I of course have ideas, but I am always willing to hear where you guys would like to take something. So I had an idea. I know who this person is, but their relationship to you, you can have a whole lot of influence on.
Okay.
Well,
that means it's probably not who I was thinking then.
Well, we know that it's going to be somebody that turned evil, or at least is currently evil, because it had a supervillain tag.
But we don't know that those are actually supervillain tags, though.
Yeah.
That's part of why we wanted to poke around and see, okay, who are they? Because
yeah, it's a solid theory, obviously.
Yeah.
Because it's not just people with powers, because then we would have had Will pinging on the app.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a very, at least to my knowledge, there is a very big distinction between those that are positively defined as superheroes and negatively defined as supervillains, and not showing the people that are in between the two. Or at least not that I have found yet.
Yes.
I think that the important part is the yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the what I was thinking, because of the way this is going, is that what I will say is that the previous leader of the Queen's Guard went rogue
Okay.
and has been corrupted. So that's my inkling.
Yeah, I
And
think
especially given how the scenario gets reestablished in 2 weeks.
yeah. Yeah, I think the thing that I'm really curious about to see is who this person, or this person that obviously has a background connection to Gen X. What is their connection to the Atom family, and how does that play into what possible relationship Paw is going to have with them? And is that going to cause some tension if they end up on, the wrong sides of the tug of war? And I think that would be a very interesting thing to explore. I don't know if we want to put ourselves on opposite sides of that line this soon into the story, but it might, I don't know, it might be a good end up as a good team building thing. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely think that I agree that it's obviously someone from Jean's past, but I'm gonna throw my lot in with the idea that it's also someone from Paw's like immediate family, or at least close family, not just we are all the Atom family, we are all one big happy unhappy family. But like someone that you have actual personal connections with. I think that would be a fun twist to explore.
Another thing I pinged on early when he introduced the app that was showing all of us was our dear leader here specifically described what my little thingy thing looked like. That it was a radiation type thing, which made me go, what? So I'm curious about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely that it's not just picking up on the load jacks, it's also picking up on like different powers, frequencies, radiations.
Anyone?
If you want a really terrible hint, just to make you, spiral even further into that.
Always.
Who like this is something that STEM operates, but who in STEM is using this and what's it actually for?
Yeah.
Because this is something that Statesman has access to. So what does Statesman need to know about, Nevada's the way that Nevada is tracked?
Right.
Because as you may have noticed, he's not the brightest guy out there. He's kind of a lunk.
We did kind of notice that, which is making me wonder if it has something to do with the way she got her powers. Which was, she's a science experiment gone wrong.
Yeah.
Or right, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, I actually had it written into my backstory that Crash has actually tussled with Statesman before, and is one of the few people not in his close inner circle that discovered that he actually has a temper problem, an anger management problem. I have no idea if you took that and wrote that in or not, but
that's in there.
Okay, good.
Just you wait.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh boy.
So yeah, it was fun to see him in there, because I mean, for those of you that are watching that don't know this, several of us do have a background in City of Heroes, City of Villains, the old MMOs. So some things may or may not have been more closely cribbed than others.
As one can see from my background here,
right?
there's Atlas Park.
All right. Anyone else have any wild theories they want to throw out? Kudos, requests?
Something that just came to mind,
Yeah.
and it is, I guess we'll put this in the wish, or at least a consideration. Patrick, it would be cool. Have you thought about, like, especially with recurring character, like you are, I'm getting to learn you as a GM, and it's good. It is very good. But depiction of other characters, like we get a little bit of the statesman's personality, but there's not much distinction between other characters, that the NPCs that you're bringing to us. And I feel that perhaps inflections or speech patterns or something will give us more of an opportunity to interact with the character and to glean from that character beyond just the meaning of the text and the grammatical order of the message.
Okay, I will work on that.
I mean, I don't know about any of the rest of you. I am totally hearing Hex as Malcolm McDowell. So
Yes.
I have to practice my Malcolm McDowell.
Okay, that works. I was picturing Sean Connery, but yeah,
okay.
that kind of that genre of British actor.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, Malcolm McDowell, because he's able to do the snark in ways that some of the other ones don't.
Yeah,
and he's got just a little bit of the helter skelter, behind his eyes. So yeah, that's that. I am developing a keen dislike for that man. At least it didn't cause me to slam into any walls this time, so I'm doing better.
makes me glad I stole from him.
Right?
You know.
And notice that he wasn't the one who caught you following him.
No.
If
I
you
don't
had
think he
failed if you had
cares.
failed that
No, he
role,
doesn't.
I'm not quite sure what I would have had him do to kind of let you know that he noticed, but it wouldn't have been good.
Yeah, like I think he's just so sure of himself that he
yeah.
doesn't care that you're following him.
Well, he's going around causing chaos as he goes, so why
Yeah.
would he
Exactly.
care if some guy is just following it behind him?
Yeah. But no, I will have words with him, and they will not be PG rated, and then I will do things to him that are not even R rated. It will be bad.
So
All
you
right.
think?
So I'm going to build up some XP and have some player intrusions. That's
There you go.
all right. Well, unless anyone else has anything that they want to chime in at the last, chime in before we get going. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for coming on this crazy ride with us. We will see you all in 2 weeks, February 13th. And until then, from us to you, have a great night and take care. Bye.
All right.